Guys, you're watching this, I think, on about like the 9th of January. Oh my gosh, I can't even get my angles right anymore. But I'm filming this at like the end of the year. I'm exhausted. So I had to put some red lipstick on so that you guys do you know how much it fascinates me how people just cross a road without looking? So often. And I zoom at you on purpose and hoot, I give you the flippin' skrik of your life, so that you then are like, oh my gosh, I must do that again. Anyways, I'm gonna speak faster. I can hear, I'm like, la, 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 la. Anyways, guys, it's not often you see a lot of Grandland, Opel Grandlands on there, or Grandlands, do you? Hey, there's my son. Hi, guys. Hi. Oh, he's on his way home from school. You see, guys, I'm here working and filming, but I'll go home now. I'll put him to sleep. So, yeah, it's not often you see them. They're not like very, very popular, but I actually love the look of it. Like now that I'm driving one, I'm sort of seeing them, and they kind of stand out, probably because there aren't that many, but they're very sort of edgy and angular, and especially this now updated model. It's had like a refresh for 2023. But it actually is quite a nice looking model. I mean, it doesn't touch the Sportage, obviously, but nothing does. So that's understandable. Okay, so this person in front of me has decided that they rather want to go that way when there's no ways that they can turn. So we're now doing an Austin Powers maneuver. So here we are. Oh, hell, we've ramped the pavement. Guys, I wish I had the camera on the other way. Anyways, I don't. So this has got like a new visor grille and LED headlights. It's got 18-inch alloys. And you can choose between 3 models now, which is the 1.6T. Then you've got the top of the range Ultimate. And then there's another model in between, which has now just slipped my mind, but I'm going to remember it in a moment. It is the GS line. Okay, came back to me. I'm in the Ultimate, but regardless, I have to say they're very, very well spec'd cars. And so they should be in this segment because a lot of the competitors are. But the 1.6T, for instance, has, wireless charging and just Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. It's got dual zone climate control, reverse camera, rear sensors, etc. And then something like this, which is like the top of the range, adds things like heated and ventilated seats, but also rear heated seats, which I've only seen in the Kia. And I love that. Like, I think it's just such a nice touch that like so few manufacturers do. And I don't know why, it just adds a little bit of sparkle for me. And then this also has sat nav, and then it has keyless entry and start, like button start, which cool, because it should, it's the top of the range, but I feel like you should have that from, I've been in like a, I don't know, maybe like a Hyundai Grandland 10 at the moment, I think even that, I don't know, there's just like really entry-level budget cars that have that feature. So I just think these cars should have them anyway. There's also a new 12-inch instrument cluster. Like, it looks quite cool. I think you can change the view of it and everything because it's now on like, I'm almost just only seeing the speedometer. But very cool, very slick. And then you either, depending on the model and stuff, you get a 7-inch or 10-inch infotainment touchscreen, which has so many fingerprints on it. Sorry guys, I didn't have anything to clean it with when I was filming, and I was like, oh, hells are bells. But anyways, sometimes I just feel like show it as it is. Like, I haven't driven this car that often, so this is going to happen to you a lot. You're going to have a little lappy in the car for yourself, like one of those cell phone cleaning or computer screen cleaning things, if you want to keep that clean. It was driving me insane. The boot is like really cool. I love it because, so it's 514 liters, which is really big. It's also deep, it like goes lower, and there's still a spare in there. So like everything, what I love about a boot that is lower than like the lip, if you will, like the edge of the boot, it's probably a very professional motoring journalist term for that, but I can't think of it now, is that when you put your bags in, they don't, like, I don't know, for some reason they sort of sit more fuss in it, like it goes down, and like, I don't know what it is, but I just find them to be a little bit more practical. And then I've got Luca's seat now, obviously, because and quite a nice amount of space back there anyways, just for legroom in general for rear passengers. But like, I'm very happy with this. But tricky to get the car seat in, had to take the headrest off. So that's a bit weird. But I imagine that happens with a couple of cars. It wouldn't matter if your car seat's in there permanently, then who cares about that headrest? So yay. Same engine, 1.6 litre 4-cylinder. You get 121 kilowatts of power, 280 newton meters of torque, and mated to a 6-speed auto, which I think is really well mated. The only problem I have with this is the gear lever itself. There's a couple of designs, there's a couple of cars with this very similar design. So the problem with the gear stick for me, and I find this with all the ones that are designed like this, you often have to keep pushing and it doesn't click into gear. I don't know, it's just not as sort of seamless. And the same thing goes, I'm like going over a line. The same thing goes for the start button. I've had this in a couple of cars, and I think you would probably eventually get very used to it, but it irritates me because I don't think it should be this, like, you have to press it quite hard to turn it on. I know I've said this in other reviews of other cars, can't recall what they are, but like, so I think I've turned it off, like I touch it, and then I'm about to get out the car and I realize the car's still on, and then I have to like flip and move the thing. Do you know, not a vibe. So guys, I'm going to mention this now quite often. So a lot of people will ask me about cars that they should buy, where they can buy them, right? And I always send people to Cars Dakota because, you know, I actually have an affiliation with them anyways. I worked with them for years. I used to film for them. But what you might not know about, which I think is one of my favorite features on the website, is their compare tool. So if you're looking at a car like this, and potentially a Kia Sportage and whatever Tiguan, you can go and literally type all three of those cars in and it'll give you all the specs, the pricing, everything compared directly next to each other. I use it all the time for my own research for the videos that I do. So I think it's something that you should go and check out, because honestly, it will be so useful if you're researching to buy a car. And then you'll just find the car on Cars Dakota anyway to buy. So the claimed fuel consumption is like 7 liters per 100 k's. You can actually probably get lower than that. Yeah, it's pretty good. So that's like a big win. Obviously in this sort of segment, again, like it's competing with very strong rivals that have like really good fuel consumptions. So this, I think, is okay. I mean, you'd want it lower, but here we are. So it kicks off at around 600,000. It goes up to around 721,000 Rand. I think what they've done is make this even more appealing. Like, I think it's actually a lovely car to drive. I've enjoyed sort of being in it. With that said, I would never take it over a Kia Sportage. Shh. Okay, I need to turn you off. Okay, there we go. Thank you. I would never ever take this over a Kia Sportage. I think something like a Tucson, even a Tiguan, all of them, they just feel a little bit more premium. That I find this, you know what it is? I find this to feel a little bit like a segment below, not in terms of space or price or even spec, etc., but in look and feel and build quality. It just feels like it's one segment lower than it should be. I don't know if that makes sense, but if someone said to me, I'm going to get into an Opel Grandland because I love the look of it, and a lot of people buy cars because they like the look, I would say to them, take it for a drive, and if you're happy, I think you'll be really happy. Lovely drive.